Okay, last topic. For those that have stayed to the end, as promised, we've got some crazy AI tech here. I've actually talked about Symphasia, this platform, before on the show. If Stefan or Victor, we've spoken before in the past, the founders would like to come on, there is an open invite. But this is text-to-speech software. For those watching on video, there's a quick clip on the screen showing a demo. I can't play audio just because I don't want to get copyright striked, but this is essentially what you see. So you type in what you like, and an AI-generated avatar will read it out in 120 different languages. There's almost 150 different avatars that you can pick from. Use it for training material, marketing videos, voiceovers. Who knows? Maybe even recruitment. Maybe this is the magic bullet to the problem. But it looks, pretty real. I mean, it's definitely a bit stiff. Like it's not like a human on like a Zoom call having a conversation. And the voice it's pretty good. I mean, like you can pick different languages, but certainly from the demos that I've seen, it's not as fluent as a human speaking with the ums and the pauses and the ahs. It's like a perfect polished person, which is probably what you want if you're watching a training video. Like you join a company and you got to watch those like boring introduction videos showing you how to use the CRM and the database, all the different systems and everything, which is probably designed for that. But I don't think it's quite the same as speaking to a human yet. I mean, it's going to get better and better, and maybe they'll add in some of those human errors, which I think is quite important with AI. Like with GPT, for example, when it gives you the answer, it comes out like this. It doesn't just give you the answer because it feels like a human speaking to you. I'm working with a chatbot company at the moment, helping grow their engineering team. And one thing they've recently added is when it's about to text you something, it comes up with the dots on the screen, like you're getting a text message. When they have the answer ready, it just feels more human. So I'm sure they can add stuff like that into it to make the product worse, but then also make it better at the same time, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, what are your thoughts on Symphasia and that platform, Nick? What's your take?
I loved it. I thought it was really good. I had a good look at it, and I looked at I had looked on the website as well. I was really impressed by what it was doing.
Yeah,
I thought it was very good. I was thinking about things like training videos, a number of areas where it would be excellent. I thought it was very polished. It made me laugh where it had different accents as well.
Yeah.
So it was really there's a lot of thought gone into that, an awful lot of work. And I did notice that you could pause the script. There were little bits of syntax that you could use in. It's not just if you cut and paste from what you've written, and there were ways of putting pauses in there with the syntax.
Okay, so they are adding some of the features that I've talked about. Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
And I thought it was, so I looked at it and I went away and I went, goodness, that is really good.
Yeah.
I thought it was really, really good, and I was quite impressed.
So they've just raised a Series C round. I think NVIDIA, obviously the AI GPU, they are a big investor. And I think they're officially a unicorn now because they've raised it to a point where they're like $1 billion valuation. So you can call them in the unicorn club. So congrats, boys, on that. What's your take, Graham, on Symphasia?
Yeah, I was impressed as well. I think for me, I expected to find the video a bit janky. But actually was really smooth, and actually the avatar and the video side was really quite natural. It was the voice that wasn't quite there for me. It was a little bit still computer generated, but perfectly passable. You could definitely use that and make great use. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't play the voice on this just because I didn't want to get striked. But if people are listening and want to search Symphasia, it's worth checking out. I'm not affiliated in any way. One thing that did come to mind is this could replace jobs for like news readers and TV presenters. I did another segment on the pod a few episodes back on this very subject where there was a company in, I think it was a TV station in Kuwait who have been using a AI-generated something like this called Fedha, who has replaced a news anchor at their broadcasting station. I'm not sure if it's Symphasia or a competitor, but they were basically reading out the headlines, because some news, like journalism, you kind of need an opinion. Like if you've got like a Tucker Carlson or someone, you need like their perspective, their take on it. But if it's just like, hey, here's the breaking headlines for today, and it's just reading it out like a boring Sky TV, BBC presenter or something like legacy media, like you could you could replace that with this, type in what the headlines are, or just use GPT to scour the net and gather them, and then just read it out on the screen, and obviously play B-roll on top showing the clips. So this could replace like news readers, like TV presenters and that sort of thing. Do you see that as a reality? Am I thinking too far ahead? What's your take, Nick, on that side of the coin?
I think with news readers, I think that it's a spontaneity that they could provide when something happens. I mean, like yesterday we saw when we found out about the sub imploding on itself with the Titanic, and that was all very quick, and it was put up on the news quite quickly. So that aspect of it, I haven't really got my head round. I guess what I was looking at it for was more, if you want to get a presentation out there, or if you've got a large team of people, then it's a great tool to be able to do that. But then again, at the same time, I'm also the type of person that would rather, when you're doing something like an all hands, speak myself and take it on board. But, it would be a good way of getting company messages across. But then again, that's what the video's there for. So, I loved the technology. I thought the technology was really good, and I thought it was much better than I was expecting.
Yeah. What's your take, Graham?
Yeah, I think perhaps similar to some of the other conversations we had around like job replacement. I think, as you mentioned, the big personalities in news reading and broadcasting, I think they become a premium, and I don't see this replacing that. But for other applications, that sort of budget, just get the news out there. Yeah, maybe I could see that happening. I think we'll have to wait and see on that.
I mean, it'll probably be a hybrid one. It won't completely replace them, but all the bad ones will be replaced. The ones that are just reading from a script, which is probably most of them. One thing that this tech does terrify me a little bit is around deepfakes, because you could very easily, I think you can upload avatars. I have done hundreds of hours of podcasts, so you can upload a thing of me and make me say anything, and I don't really care that much, because if it's from my profile, it's me. But that could obviously just be an easy way of escaping it. Hey, I didn't say that because I didn't tweet that out, so it wasn't me. But yeah, I could see this being used to make politicians say anything, to make your political or business rivals talk badly about products, about people, about controversial topics. I could see it being used heavily in politics and cyber warfare and that sort of thing, and making millions of fake social media accounts all posting something simultaneously to try and thread a false narrative into a subject. What were your takes on the deep fake side of the coin? What do you think, Graham?
Yeah, I think if we consider technology over the ages, there's always been things that come along, and there's always a threat there and an opportunity to use it for nefarious gains. And I think each time we come up with ways of dealing with that. I don't know what the answers are in this case, but I guess I believe in the positivity, and we'll find a way of handling that.
Okay, so you're optimistic.
Yeah.
You think it will happen, but you're optimistic about the outcome.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to happen. I think there's no question about that. The technology's there. It will get used, and people will try and abuse it as well.
Yeah.
But I think we'll find ways of dealing with that.
Yeah, I mean, the obvious way for me would just be like a watermark or a stamp on it, or even just obviously having like a verified tick, like Elon suggested, like you pay for that. Because I don't know if you'd pay to, a couple of pounds a month to spread false information. If you're doing it on scale, it'd be quite expensive projects. I mean, you still could do it, but the deep fakes would just be making Mr. Musk even richer and richer. Maybe he's onto something. What do you think, Nick, on the deep fake side?